directed by Ryan Coogler and stars Michael B. Jordan and Sylvester Stallone. Trying to make his way as a professional boxer, Adonis Johnson, the illegitimate son of Apollo Creed, seeks out the training of the one and only Rocky Balboa. Now, that's the short sort of Cliff Notes version synopsis of this movie, but there's a lot more going on, and it's very good. Now, before I go any further, I really like this movie. I didn't love it, and I think that's because I'm not the biggest Rocky fan. If you're a fan of this series, I think you're gonna love this film. And I really liked the look and feel of this movie. This movie looks fantastic. It had such a gritty, like down-to-earth feel to it. And there's several sequences in this movie that take advantage of long tracking shots. And pretty much everybody that sees this movie, the first thing they're gonna say is that first fight was done in one take. And you can sort of pick out like, oh, I think they may have cut here, or they might have snuck in an edit there. But I went and did research, and it's pretty much just one giant take with the help of a couple of visual effects here and there. And while I was watching it, I'm like, oh my god, it's still going. Oh my god, it's still going. And it blew my mind. And that's just the one scene that's really going to stand out in this movie when you go see it. And the performance from the two lead actors in this film are great. Michael B. Jordan brings his A game, and it just makes you forget about that one crappy movie that it was in not too long ago. He brings so much emotion into the character of Adonis. There's plenty of times where I just felt so much emotion just pouring out of his performance. And I just think this movie wouldn't be as good had somebody else played Adonis Johnson in this film. But I think it's Sylvester Stallone in his performance as Rocky Balboa that really steals the show. And I think everybody, me included, just forgets how good of a performer Sylvester Stallone is. And I think it's just like all the other action roles that he's taking on, like Expendables, the Rambo franchise. I think because of those, you forget that he has pretty good acting chops. He just has a phenomenal performance in this movie. And there were several times where Sylvester Stallone and Michael B. Jordan had me tearing up in this movie because that's how good their performances are. And another thing that makes this film so good is the character arcs that Rocky and Adonis go through. And there's more going on in this film than just the boxing stuff, because there's this really great like father-son storyline going in the film. Because as the film progresses, you learn how much Rocky needs Adonis and how much Adonis needs Rocky. You see that Adonis is looking for this strong sort of male father figure in his life, and he sort of seeks that out of Rocky. And Rocky, pretty much, he has his own son, but you see that he really needs Adonis in his life to keep him going, because he feels like he has nothing left to appreciate in his life until Adonis comes along. I just love the relationship that they have with each other and how they sort of feed off each other to help them keep going in their fights, not only in the ring, but in life. And Adonis' story sort of runs parallel to the movie itself as a whole, because he doesn't want to take the name Creed because he wants to make a name for himself, and he sort of just doesn't want to live in the shadow of his father. And the movie basically does that. It's a Rocky movie, but not really. It sort of has the same themes going on as the previous movies, but it does it in a way to where it stands on its own 2 feet. And I just really appreciate where a movie in a really big franchise does this, because it's pretty much the 7th installment in the Rocky series, but you can see where it will just springboard off in its own sort of trilogy. And after watching this film, I wouldn't doubt that they would, and I would just really look forward to any new movies out of this franchise. Now again, I really did enjoy this film. I really like this film, but I do have a couple of issues with it. For one, it's slow to get going, but when the boxing stuff hits and Adonis and Rocky start going, it just takes off from there. And I can see where average moviegoers will be bored when the boxing stuff isn't happening. I was very interested in the film, but if you're not a huge Rocky fan, you're going to be bored in certain parts in the movie where they sort of push character development a bit more and sort of complete story arcs, the things that I really enjoyed in the film. And I think that's the biggest thing I take from this film. If you're not a Rocky fan, you're gonna like the film, but you're not gonna love it. Because I see all these other YouTube reviewers just losing their minds over this movie. And I'm sort of on the other fence going like, yeah, it's really good. But regardless of how I feel about the Rocky franchise, Creed is still a very good movie, and it definitely gets a high 5. MoviePass is the nation's premier theatrical subscription service, allowing members to see a movie every 24 hours for a flat monthly fee. Accepted at theaters nationwide, MoviePass offers several plans ranging from an annual contract to month-to-month plans. So click the annotation here or the link in the description to start your free 2-week trial today. So Creed, have you seen it? What did you think about it? And where do you rank it in the Rocky series? Leave a comment below, tell me your thoughts. Don't forget to hit that like button below, help me out. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. Sorry about the lateness of this review. I work full time and I run my own business. I'll be reviewing The Good Dinosaur later on this week, so be on the lookout for that. And as always, thank you so much for watching. If you like this, you can click right here and see more videos. Bye, Andrew.